I don't, Pit G, and I never will. Ever. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be getting started on an A1990 MacBook that's not turning on. It's one of Paul's favorite machines. Paul's sitting right over there. Look at Paul smile that I'm working on the A1990 while he's working on the EZQ. EZQ, 3 letters that describe Paul's day. So let's open this machine up, see what's going on with it. And after getting batteries, did the machine gun work? It did. That thing, it does. We have 2 machine guns. One of them's decent. The other one is, it seems to, what's the word I'm looking for? Jam up every now and then.
Rip starts in half.
But thank you. We did have a lot of fun shooting each other yesterday with it. I can imagine a lot more shooting today. I got an A1278 Mac from my neighbor. My kid stepped on it. Battery exploded, cracked the touchpad. Had a fan spin, and the touchpad still works. Well, stepping on a laptop and it exploding doesn't sound like a good start to a day. Missing your streams. Finals are coming up and I've just been so exhausted. What are you going to college for? Wow, Piernov is here. And Paul Daniels is here. The entire high IQ squad has made it to the stream. I'm still in bed because I'm lazy. And now I know the Australians have made it to the stream. Australia. Cue protests in 5, 4, 3. I just fixed your tello. The motor spins now, and I'm going to wait for a response from my coworker on the camera. You know, Paul said if I sent you the Tello that if I got it back, it would probably wind up exploding in my face. So I'll be happy if it doesn't do that. Going to college for mechanical engineering. I'm in my junior year. Very difficult for me lately. Yeah, I couldn't even make it past freshman year of college. By the way, anytime somebody does a donation from now on, it's going to make a different noise than the standard Streamlabs noise. The normal Streamlabs noise just wasn't up to par, so I changed it to something that I think is a little bit more fitting. What internet does the new store have? The new store has gigabit Fios. Gigabit Fios. That's right. I could probably stream at 30 megabit per second. I could probably stream something that's at the quality that other people encode with. Man, that would be sexy. I could stream at 30 megabit a second. Twitch wouldn't like it, but oh well. Damn it, Louis, you know Australia doesn't exist. That's the new donation noise on Streamlabs.
Donation sound.
I'm without bullets. Wait a second.
Blow back in your face.
This is how I kill normal flies here. Liquid damage. Are you IP68?
No. It's not even IP1.
It doesn't even have a cover over the battery slot.
Oh no! You've damaged it!
Have I? Huh? Is it loaded?
Yeah. Oh God.
Where do you set the rate of fire on this?
It's all or nothing. No, I'm sorry, it's literally nothing. Evasive maneuvers! This guy knows some maneuvers. Yeah!
Shoot the pilot. This is not... Kill the pilot. I think I'm out of bullets.
Good.
This has got to be the best place to work at. No, it's quite the opposite. This place is actually hell on earth to work for. We just mask the tears with drones. It's kind of like
CPU sucks.
you know those modern tech companies where they make you work 15 hours a day and you don't get benefits and you're to blame for everything that goes wrong, and if anything doesn't go well in your department, you're the one that gets reported to the Department of Justice for the fact that your algorithm was spying on people or something. But they have beer on tap in a gym right next door, so it's okay. It's kind of like what this company is. You'll get blamed for stuff that you didn't actually do wrong. You'll fix things numerous times, and they'll just wind up being undone when you show up to work. You're expected to work without the proper schematics, without the proper diagrams, without the proper tools or parts or supply chain. Half of the chips that you get to do your job don't even work. But we have drones. FYI, you can get an additional 50 round drums. That is interesting. All right, so what we're going to do on this MacBook over here. Thank you, Christopher Kelly. Also, hello and welcome. Damn it. I wish instead of a computer being here, there was an endless garbage pail.
Just dig a hole to the basement.
We should do that before we leave.
Put a hole to the basement so we just throw all the trash right there.
So the battery's unplugged, and it looks like we're taking 20 milliamps at 5.15 volts. 20 milliamps is not very good. It's supposed to be giving us about 200 milliamps, and then jump up to 20 volts, which it's not doing. Do keep in mind that this is a T2 chip MacBook we have over here. So this one really sucks because T2 actually speaks to a chip that's going to speak to something that speaks to the USB-C port controllers. T2 rubbish. What are you going to do with the 186 First Avenue deposit? It's only audio. Well, what you just described there, that's actually the standard New York method of ensuring you get your deposit back since landlords will never give it to you. That's one of the standard methods. And it's one of those methods that you typically frown upon using, but when you're dealing with a landlord that does not care if you have heat or air conditioning, it's suddenly you stop to care. You stop caring so much about that whole moral ethics thing, you know? Hello, Lavieto. Hello? Hello? This thing's on and we're not soldering it. So do you have anything in mind yet, Paul, for silencing these things? Ew, bug legs.
Oh, the human structures?
Yeah. Greetings from Stockholm, Sweden. Hello and welcome.
Yeah, I want to build a cabinet for them all to go into and then run all the pipes to each desk individually.
Aren't you going to need really long pipes? And if we have really long pipes, isn't that going to decrease the strength of the suction?
Shouldn't. Not if they're smooth and clean.
Maybe
Let's
Duresta.
try first.
Maybe Duresta can build a cabinet filled with fiberglass. Season 2 finale coming up soon, I suppose. You ever travel to southern U.S., New Orleans in particular? I don't remember if I've been to New Orleans. Don't think so. Pretty sure I haven't been to New Orleans. Heard a lot about it.
To where?
New Orleans. New Orleans. New Orleans, however you're supposed to say it. I'm such a scrub camper. Why is floor leveling so important in the new store? It's not going to be a bowling alley. Seems level as is. Sounds like somebody who's never had to work at a desk where your chair leans this way, but then you have to lean that way. That's exactly what I would expect someone who doesn't work at a desk where it's slanted like this and they have to bend over it to work with, say, for 8 hours a day. No. Fuck that. I dealt with... Which is a new Stormy North in 4K. 4K is going to be a considerable higher budget. I think that is going to be out of budget. I sincerely doubt that the actual store, the way I want to set it up, is going to be within budget. But like 4K, that is so far down the... That is so low on the list of priorities, you have no idea. But yeah, priority is flat floor. Because there are parts in the store where it's comfortable to sit and work at the desk, and then there's other parts of the store where it's really uncomfortable to sit at work at the desk. Like Paul's desk is considerably more comfortable than mine, because his desk is on the section that is, it's not straight, it's not perfectly level, but at the very least it's leaning towards the desk rather than away from it. Because if you're slanted, like if your desk is here, and your chair is here, and the floor does this, It's already annoying to have to lean over the desk to look into a traditional microscope rather than a mantis. But having to just lean over to be straight and then lean over again, like, screw that. I mean, your spine is important. You're going to sit there for 8 hours a day, or when it comes to figuring out these new ones, even longer. Whether or not you're going to do that depends on how comfortable you are. And if we're doing this entire move, and like if I'm going to fuck myself financially to make this happen and add all this stress, what's the point of doing all that if the foundation that I'm working on sucks? This doesn't sound like you value your spine or your posture or your comfort very much, and I think you should. And I've sat at places that are comfortable, sat at places that are uncomfortable, and just nope. I had enough of it. I'm in my 30s now. I'm getting old.
Shut up.
I'm gonna be 31.
Shut up.
On Tuesday, I'm gonna be 30-fucking-1. I'm gonna be a grandpa. Speaking of old,
What the hell am
a relic.
I? I have a Windows phone.
Paul has a Windows phone. Just keep that in mind. I can't believe you still have a Windows phone in this day and age.
Love it.
You're crazy.
Works better than any other phone.
You're out of your mind. Do you have an app for it? Can you read the temperature or the amperage use off of my bicycle battery with that Windows phone?
No.
Can you connect to a GeoVision camera system with that Windows phone?
Yes.
Can you SSH into a server and reboot it, like Maddox
Yes.
can with his Nokia?
That was the type of stuff Windows Phone was all about, so that's still exists.
Frick you, Lewis, I am 35. Are you calling me old? No, I'm calling you ancient. Over the hill and far away. Okay. So this board is an 820-01041. Let's get a schematic for this beautiful board and see if it's fixable or if it's yet another piece of crap T2 chip problem. I hate the piece of crap T2 chip problems. We don't say old anymore, we say boomer, says Durna. Okay, boomer. Hey, Paul's not a boomer, he's Gen X. He is not a boomer. Catherine says I am 45. Yeah, but you're 20 and where it counts. You don't use a Windows phone.
Hey.
I cleaned my microscope, by the way. So hopefully it looks better. Just wait until you need your first set of glasses. I'm gonna be all gray before that happens. I still retain my 2013 vision. That's gonna be a long way off. I may not have steady hands, I may suck at almost every sport there is, but God bless me with the vision to be able to see just how much I suck. Okay, let's open up a schematic and a board view for this. This is probably going to suck because it's a A1990. Good to see you again, Mr. Northside. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good to see you too as well, Catherine. Wait until you turn 40. Oh, that's not happening. No, get out of here. Don't let's not be fucking ridiculous. That's just not going to happen.
People that are 40.
That's just not going to happen. It's not about it whether or not it's wrong. It's just not going to happen to me. Turning 40 is something that happens to you, or maybe David someday, but not me. Definitely not me.
You're going to go from 30 to 80.
It's my first anniversary of my 30th birthday coming up on Tuesday. Then we have the second anniversary of my 30th birthday. Then we have the third anniversary of my 30th birthday. And so on and so forth. Okay, finally switched over my Stream Deck profile to the one that works.
My 19th anniversary of my 20th birthday.
It's going to be Paul's 20th anniversary of his 20th birthday. So it seems like we're stuck at 5 volts. Now, what does being stuck at 5 volts usually mean? That usually means, on the older models, that the CD3215s are not communicating properly. If we look at this one, we have what appears to be a little bit of junk. Not under our CD3215, but by the probe points next to the CD3215. And what are those for? What do those do? What do those do? Those probe points, UPC gate XA. What is UPC gate XA? Ah, that's for opening this so that the voltage can go through to the rest of the machine. Well, I don't think that that's going to be it. Let's take a look by turning on Paul Daniels' excellent multimeter software. You can find Paul Daniels at pldaniels.com or youtube.com/19pld73. That's 19pld73, as in his birthday. He's even older than Paul. So, let's see what we get on screen. There we go. Do we have the 3.3 volts going into the chip that's required and necessary for it to turn on? No, we don't. Excited to buy one of your quick stations next year. Budget. Any advice on extractors? The only thing that I recommend, because it's the only thing I've been able to find or try, was the HAKKO FA430, which is disgustingly expensive.
Actually, it's the cheapest one on the market. I've looked at other extractors. This is the cheapest one.
It's the cheapest one, but that doesn't mean it's not disgusting when you see what you're paying for.
Yeah. But it's still cheaper than...
It's a fucking vacuum cleaner with a tube and a carbon filter and a HEPA filter, and it's $700.
It's still cheaper than the...
The tubes are $150, Paul. My vacuum costs $50 at home, the entire thing.
The Pace one is twice as expensive.
Yeah, but Pace is fucking out of their mind. They don't even count anymore to me.
The Weller one is twice as expensive.
Love the dono sound. Here's $5 to buy the hello welcome doorbell. Thank you. Unfortunately, I can't click that since it's on the screen at the moment. So the first thing we got to do here is figure out why we're missing... never mind. We got it now. 3.3 volts in. But our LDO does not appear to be making... Okay, let's see. What do we... Why is our LDO not making what it's supposed to? So PP3V3 UPC XBLDO is actually there. It's PP3V3 RTC that's missing. Okay, that seems a little backwards. Let me explain to you why I think that that's a little backwards. Let's just go back to the chip that we were looking at, which is U3200. And let's just take a look at C3200. So C3200 is on PP3V3_G3hot_RTC. Loving your insight in movie videos. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5. Also, hello and welcome. So PP3V3 RTC, PP3V3G3hot RTC is right there, and that power line is going into the chip, and it's going to provide voltage on V in. So how is it that the LDO of the chip is able to how is it the LDO is making power when that's not? Because you need that voltage in for it to work. Perhaps the VDDIO of the chip is going to be where voltage in matters on here, or the 20 volts coming in from the USB-C chip. Perhaps that is what is going to be creating it. Strange. Yeah, because we get 0 volts on PP3V3 RTC, but we get 3 volts there. So let's chase back and take a look at where PP3V3_G3hot_RTC comes from. PP3V3_G3hot_RCC is going to come from hell. I'll jerry-rig one then. Thanks. Yeah, do what you got to do. Just don't work without it. So where is this coming out of? All right, PP3V3_G3hot is going to come out of U6960. Let's take a look at U6960. U6960 is right here. Now, before we blame the chip for not making it, let's see if it's actually getting its enable. And its enable is going to be present on R6968. R6968 over here is going to be charger enable MVR. So let's find our U6960. 3 greenies. How far has missed your commute versus e-bike range? it's about a 4 or 5 mile range, and my battery will go 40 to 50 miles if I'm not being an idiot. It'll go 15 to 25 miles if I am being an idiot. So the amount of ride time I get is directly proportional to how much amperage I put in, because you can accelerate a little bit faster, but it takes a lot more power. It's not linear. It takes a lot of power to accelerate a little bit faster. So what I'm saying is, it costs me money to be if I act like a fool, and it costs me power to act like a fool, but it's kind of fun. So, all right. So if we go over here to U6960, I'm gonna check and see if there's voltage on the enable. So let's find that. That's gonna be over here. The resistor I need for measuring enable is gonna be the second one down. All right. And there's no enable. Now, where does that enable come from? Well, that's a great question. If we click over here, you'll see that comes from Charger ENMVR, which comes from a chip called the ISL9240 right here, U7000. So let's just switch back over here where you can see, because I thought I had it on the screen and I did not. If you look over here, R6968 is going to go to this chip, U7000. And U7000 is over here. The ISL9240. So that chip needs to make the enable in order for this to work. Let's take a look at what that looks like on the board. Right over here, our Intersil ISL9240. Now I'm just going to give it a little quick reflow. I would usually replace it, but unfortunately I'm not able to replace it because this chip is not available. All right. As you can see, the chip is actually cracked in its lower right corner. See that? A lot of these new glass chips, they are much more fragile than the chips that don't have this kind of glassy-like construction to them. They just kind of chip and fall apart. As you can see, there's no change. It's taking the exact same amount of power it was before, and it's stuck at 20 volts, because we don't have PP3V3_G3 hot, which, just as with all the older machines, the A1707s, the A1708s, the A1706s, is required for the USB-C port controller to speak to the charger and tell the charger to put out 20 volts rather than 5 volts. It's only putting out 20 volts because it's not able to communicate with the machine. Now, in the older machines from 2016 and 17, when I would have this problem with the ISL9239, which served as the ISL9240 on that machine, it's a very common problem. Even if there's no liquid damage, like there is in this case, even though if there isn't any liquid damage, that chip would co-pass. I'm in the middle of something. But a customer walks in the new store. No, I never got an ISL9240. No ISL9240. Now, on the older machines, when something like this would happen, I would simply buy an ISL9239, few bucks, and replace it. Even if it costs more than a few bucks, that's fine. This board goes for over $1,200–$1,500, so that's a nice way to, save a customer over $1,000 for something that often was not their fault. Whereas on this machine here with the new one, the difference is that I can't buy an ISL9240, which means that this board, which cost about $1,500, is now a brick, completely and utterly useless. Now you may wonder, why can't you buy that chip? Well, what Apple does is they tell Intersil/Renaissance, don't sell this chip to anybody but us. If we don't allow you to sell this, if we tell you we don't want anybody to, don't sell this chip to anybody but us. Don't sell this chip to any other sub-vendors. Don't sell it to Mouser. Don't sell it to DigiKey. Don't sell it to other people in China. Make sure that we're the only people that can get this chip to work on our product. What that means is that this $1,500 board is now a doorstep, thanks to Apple. Now you may wonder, Lewis, why don't you just become an Apple authorized repair service, Apple authorized service provider? Then you can get access to this. Wrong. If I was an Apple authorized service provider, I would not be able to buy an ISL 9240. If I walked into an Apple store, if I took every certification they had, jumped through every single hoop, I still would not be able to get that chip. Because Apple are a bag of dicks. And there's just no way around it. This $1,500 board is now worth nothing as a result of the way that they treat independent repair centers and their customers. Would it kill them to make a chip that used to be available again? But if you go back to 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, did the world end because I was able to buy a charging chip? Is there something in there that is there's no argument to be made that this is for security purposes or for data security. What this chip does is it says, make a power rail that allows a charger to turn on, put 20 volts to the computer, charge the battery, and read how much current the battery is using. That's it. And if you go back 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, where I could buy an ISL 9258 or an ISL 960, or where I could buy an ISL 6258 or buy an ISL 6259 or buy an ISL 9239, did the world end? Were computers blowing up left and right? Were consumers pissed off at how much data I stole and just uploaded to Flickr account? Were they pissed off that I was jerking off to pictures of them I saw on their encrypted SSD because I had access to a chip that charges the battery? No. But that's what people want you to think. That's what the lobbyists want you to think when they speak at these anti-right to repair hearings. What they're advocating for is for me to not be able to have access to a chip that costs a few dollars at a price premium so that I can make a $1,500 board not be a doorstop. This repair is going to end at this point because I don't have the ability to get an ISL 9240. Nobody's been able to source an ISL 9240. I would put a bounty on it. Somebody's able to find me an ISL 9240, there may be a nice four-figure reward in it for you. But at the end of the day, regardless of what I've said, nobody's been able to source it. So this is where this repair comes to an end. And if people don't start to speak up or push back against it or say, hey, I'm not going to buy your products if you do this in the future, then this is the future that we're headed towards. So I'm going to be cutting this repair short because there's absolutely nothing I could do at this point to make this work again. And since this machine has an SSD that's soldered onto the board and no longer has a lifeboat connector, and it's encrypted by the T2 chip, I also have to tell this customer that there's no way for them to get access to their data because a $5 chip that allows the battery to charge and creates a power rail that allows the charger to turn on is not made available because the company that made their computer are a bag of dicks. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one.